What is up, world? You are in tune to Marvelous Talk, and you got your player partners, Big G. What's up, Big G, man? How you doing this week?
Man, what's up, Mod, man? Just taking it back, kicking it, trying to get a little easiness in, and a lot going on. The Eternals movie, a lot of trailers.
Wow.
It's Disney Plus week tomorrow, Disney Plus day tomorrow. Man,
Wow.
it's a lot going on, man. A
Wow.
lot
It's
going on.
Disney. See, that's what's supposed to blow my mind. Because they're about to drop some gems on us. You know that, right?
Yeah.
You know that. You know what I mean? And then,
Yeah.
Shang-Chi comes out on Friday.
Yeah.
The house, what's that? The Enchanted House, that comes out, the Disney cartoon. It's a lot of things that they're gonna drop, man. And that you're gonna get some Star Wars news. You're gonna get some Marvel news, and I am excited. I am thoroughly excited. But we got SpiderMan No Way Home news, and we're definitely gonna review the Eternals, man. I'm gonna go ahead and get started, but I want to send shouts out to Big D. Dame ain't with us tonight, man, but you're here with us in spirit. We'll catch you in a few. But before we get into that, let's get into this.
Yeah.
Wow. And I'm going to tell you, man, look, dude, I want to start with people overreacted on the Eternals, man. They overreacted. They didn't do their due diligence or their homework on the Eternals. So when you came into the movie expecting to see something that you weren't going to see. You know what I mean? The Eternals it wasn't like a major run in the comic books. You really had to dig to actually get into the Eternals. And I think, that was part of the problem because all of the feedback I've been getting from people is, oh man, it wasn't enough action, or oh man, it wasn't this. Not realizing that they were setting a whole bunch of things up. What you think about this, Big G, man? What do you think was the major thing that people missed in the Eternals?
Well, I mean, first of all, let me say this. I'm a Marvel. I don't know what you want to call it. I just know a lot about it. The comic books. I know a lot about the movies. I know a lot of. I used to hear somebody used to tell me I was filled with useless information, but in this particular case, this information is very valuable, right? So, what the movie represented, and for those of you who, first of all, let me say, I'm spoiling a bunch of stuff. So, please, if you don't get off now, because I'm about to tell you
right now.
Right. Yeah. What they don't understand, what they just saw was the reboot of the lie of the multiverse. That's what they just saw play out in front of their face. Okay. Loki, with the introduction of Kang and the multiverse, opened up a whole lot of scenarios. So what Marvel has to do to bring it to an apex is they have to give you the lie from the beginning of the multiverse, right? If you saw the movie, the crawl, which Marvel has never used in any movie ever. It's like the old Star Wars thing. The thing slides down slow. And long time ago in a galaxy far, far, far away, right?
We've never used it.
They've never used that, right? So what they're doing is they're giving you the backdrop of the big multiverse that it has to follow script, right? And even if you really think about it, based on what we're going to say later on, that was sort of at the core of what the Eternals believed, right? Which, was it true? Was it not? I got a theory about that I'm going to drop on you later on. So that's just the bigger paintbrush. to bring it down to something small, what it also was an opportunity to set up multiple stories, things that are earthbound, stories that are tied into the universe type stuff, and also give a setup for a crossover or a reference point of where's to come. Because I've been saying all along, Avengers 5, Secret Wars, Battle World, the whole nine. If you know anything about the comics, if you go back and you watch and you read the Secret Wars comics, Battle World, that was the first time in Marvel Universe they started talking about variants. So that was in the early 80s. If you go back and read the cover and read the second edition or third edition, you saw 3 versions of Galactus. You saw 2 versions of SpiderMan. You saw 3 versions of Iron Man. So, y'all, they taking us somewhere,
And Big G, that's it. That's it. That is the point. They're driving the car somewhere. And when you're driving, sometimes the scenery ain't that spectacular. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just have to enjoy the ride and how you got there. But the things that we should be happy about is we got an introduction to Black Knight. We got an introduction to Blade. That was there, right?
Yeah. But that was like at the end. I'm talking about the whole.
Oh, no,
the mid-credit scene or the end scene. Okay, yeah, I got it, right?
Well, no,
but
I'm just
the
saying,
movie premise,
I'm pointing out the highlights, Big G. Yeah. I'm saying the highlights. What we should take from it is the fact that we got a chance to hear Blade's voice, to see Black Knight, and get this. Just like what G said, they're setting up Earth space. You get a chance to see it. In the comic books, if you know anything, when you see Galactus, first of all, Galactus is the main enemy of one person that we're going to get in one group of people that we're going to get in 5, right? Who is that? Fantastic Four, right? But if you see Galactus in the comic books, you see this big old figure on the looking at everybody on Earth, right? That was what you saw with the Celestials. That's exactly what you saw.
But Galactus is, so for reference point, Galactus is more powerful than a Celestial.
Absolutely.
Because the truth of the matter is Galactus existed before the Celestials. So Galactus came into effect prior to the Big Bang. There was an actual humanoid colony or culture, or basically an Earth. And when they made the decision to destroy the universe and make the 6 singularities, which they call the stones or whatever you want to call them, prior to that, Galactus was the last thing that was alive in that universe. And he sucked all the energy, and he took on what's called the power cosmic. And the power cosmic means that he's going to be hungry and got to feed off of stuff for the rest of his life.
For the rest of his life. That's why he got to eat planets. But my point is now you got a chance to see that image. If you remember in comic books, that's the image that you saw of Galactus looking at Earth, this big old face across the planet. And he's just looking at it like, what's up? You know what I'm saying? Right. You got that look with the Celestials. Now, if we think, I'm not going to get too deep in the movie because I definitely want you guys to see it. But what I will say is there were a whole bunch of high points. One of the first things that stuck out to me was Kingo's Porter. Kingo's Porter was hilarious this whole time. I mean, he had 70 cameras in that bag, in the little purse that he was carrying, in his man purse. He had about 70 cameras, Big G. You know what I'm saying? And,
but that was. So let me ask you a question, man. What do you think Kingo's character actually represented?
So I mean, see, I can't do that because you're pulling us down there, and I'm not trying to get down there yet, Sean. We can't get down there yet, Sean. If we go down there, we're gonna slip down the rabbit hole, and we'll be on this till midnight, and we're not gonna do that. But my high point was for funny. Kingo's Porter was very funny. It was funny in the parts to where he was like, "Did you get that shot?" And he was like, "Yes." After he had 3 cameras destroyed, hilarious. The other part Ajax. Selma Hayek was really good, and her in this movie as a leader, I thought was awesome, right? And it was definitely echoed in Circe, and Circe ended up taking the mantle, and just doing the things that needed to be done. Now, the last tier is that if you didn't do your homework, you didn't know what a Unimind was. You didn't know what a Unimind was. You didn't know the things that a Unimind would accomplish. So it would look kind of what's the swords, the what's those guys? The not the you know they got the helmets on, the Power Rangers. It looked Power Rangers.
Yeah. I'm like, what are
you
you
know
talking
what I'm
about?
saying?
Yeah.
It definitely looked Power Rangerish if you didn't know that the Unimind was going to take place. That's the only way that you can actually kill a Celestial as a Eternal is the Unimind, right?
Maybe we'll keep going. We'll keep going.
Well, there's another one. There's another one.
Yeah.
We know Gore had a way. We do know Gore the God Butcher had a way. But definitely that's comic book accurate, is that the Unimind was there. So that was a thing. And I think, they had to go slow pace to actually tell a story. So therefore, they ended us up at a place that I think was a really, really good place. I gave it an 8 out of 10. I hope that you guys go out and see the movie. Give it a chance. Do not read all of the press and negative press that it's been getting. I promise you, you definitely won't be discouraged about it. And I mean, G can go into talking about the deviants and everything, but we can't really get into that because if we got into that, like I said, we'll be on a slippery slope. But what I do want you to recognize is the fact that we've seen a deviant, or we've seen a person with a deviant gene before already. That person is Thanos, and we just met his brother.
Right. Well, I give it a 7.5, man. And the reason why is that, and let me make this clear too. You got introduced to 10 to 12 characters that you had never seen on the big screen before, ever. And some CGI things, which is Celestials, that you had got little bits and pieces of, and definitely deviants. You had never seen nothing like that before, right? And they did it in a 2.5 hour movie. So to do a comparison to like an Avengers or something like that, that's not really fair because it took them phases to set up characters. So now they just crammed all this down because you're going to see these characters again. And I'm going to tell you, this is my spoiler. And like I said, if you haven't seen it, turn off your stuff, right? The Eternals that we saw in this movie were variants. They were not the actual Eternals. I think the actual Eternals are on Titan. And I think that the Celestials manipulated inorganic material and downloaded information to them to get their funky off. But the reason I believe that is because so many of the actors are signed on for 2, 3, 4, 5. One of them is even tied to a 7-movie deal. Listen, they're not going to waste contracts like that unless the characters are pivotal moving through phases. So absolutely. I really do believe that these Eternals you saw, especially like with the introduction of Eros, who is Star Fox, who if they're robots, how do they have brothers and sisters? And he's Thanos' brother. And wait a minute, so how is that possible? So I think that, and he also had the little ball that he could communicate with a Celestial with. He was playing with it like it was a toy. Come on, man. It's a lot of stuff. They just set down the groundwork. So like I said, it can feed the big lie that was told at the beginning, which is that the Celestials existed before A, B, C, and D, and they created this thing, and Ereshkigal the judge is the one that's behind all of it. Why would, if it was really that important, why would Ereshkigal, after the Eternal wasn't born on the planet, why would Ereshkigal come back and take those 3 Eternals? If it really, come on, man. It's a setup. They're covering their tracks because they don't want you to know.
Yeah, but they already said that they were downloading their memories and storing their memory. Why are you storing our memories from each place? If you were doing this,
thousands and thousands of years,
you don't need to restore it.
Right. So they've been along. So supposedly, according to the movie, they've been alive and along ever since the Celestials was alive and along. So what you need to download a memory for? They know everything. They've been around. They saw Earth start from scratch. Right. So wait a minute, bro. What? We need to dump their memories. This is set up.
There's definitely some trickery going on. There's something afoot. There's definitely something afoot. And listen, we said we weren't going to be before you long, and we're definitely not. But we've got to get to the Spider-Man No Way Home news. Man, there has been a whole bunch of ground shaking things that have popped out, and as we're getting closer, you're getting more spoilers. And there was a picture that came out. We definitely can't show it to you.
Oh no. Kevin Feige will own us forever if we show you the picture we saw today. Matter of fact, if we show you the pictures we saw today.
Yeah, there's several pictures. And we can't show it to you, like I said. But yeah, we all knew that Andrew was lying. We never heard from Toby. So Toby kind of kept it G. But we've seen pictures now of their uniforms. That was the first thing that we saw in the very beginning, like a couple of weeks ago. The 3 uniforms showed up, right?
Yeah.
Now we've seen them in the actual uniforms.
Yeah.
And standing on a bridge. That was one of the pictures. And the thing about that is if you go back to the Tom Holland, Andrew Garfield green screen picture, everything is set up the same way you see them on that bridge. Yeah. So there cannot be there. I mean, it's too much stuff to fake, right?
Right.
It's too much stuff.
Well, and the guy from the watermark said basically, there's no way that they could have faked this. This is a real shot. There's no way. The shadows was right. The casting was right. The nose placement, the eyes placement. There was no way that these pictures were fake. The guy said it,
Yeah, so it's one of them things you think about.
Then and Marvel, not like they struck him down like God would strike somebody down. Marvel struck that dude down, and I don't know if he'll ever be able to put anything ever again on the internet ever. Because they struck him hard, man.
He had to erase everything. He had to erase his old Twitter. He had to erase his Instagram, but it's too late. The pictures were out there already.
Yeah,
because the pictures went viral. The second picture we saw coincided with the story that Tom Holland gave to the interviewer from the magazine from last week that Dame was talking about.
Yeah,
definitely he said that there was a person sitting at the table with him and Aunt May, and they were having a conversation and happy.
Yeah.
And we know who that person is now. That person is the one and only Matt Murdock. Now, get this. Somebody had already let on the fact that we were going to see Matt Murdock in this movie. Yeah. So, definitely it's there, right? We seen that picture now. And then, so we already know.
But Ma, let me say this too. You can't have Spider-Man without Hell's Kitchen. I mean, come on, man. How? I don't know how they made all these movies all this time, and you don't have Hell's Kitchen with Spider-Man. He's in Brooklyn. You got to have Hell's Kitchen with Spider-Man, man. So
and I mean, Daredevil got to be there, man. Daredevil got to be there. You're right. Hell's Kitchen is in New York. It's there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, we have that. So that was the second picture. There was a third image of them 3 standing together, plain clothes, with Matt Murdock in the back as well.
Right.
So you got those 3 images today. Then over the weekend, we got the poster, which was a very lazy poster.
Yeah.
Very lazy. They took the same shot from that they've been showing us in all of these fake trailers that they've been giving us, and they composed it there of Spider-Man right there. But then what they did was they gave you a whole bunch of Easter eggs.
Yeah.
They gave you a transparent Green Goblin. up at the top right of the poster. So if you look at the top right of the poster, you have a transparent green goblin.
Yeah,
you have
like he's almost like he's cloaked. He's almost like he's cloaked. Yeah.
Right. Then you have the Sandman. You got sand all in the background.
Yeah.
Then you have lightning. So we know what that represents, right?
Yeah, Doc Ock's arm.
We had Doc Ock's arm. Yeah. The only person we did not see. I mean, and Big G has been talking about this for weeks. I mean, you got the Sinister Six, right?
Yeah. Oh, it's so coming.
There's two more that's missing, right?
Yeah.
Should be, right? We got
Lizard,
Goblin.
the Lizard. You're missing Lizard. These are characters that's already been introduced. Mysterio, Lizard, Vulture, Rhino, Venom. You know, who's going to be the other two renditions of the Sinister Six? And you've had hints at Easter eggs like Craven, the Hunter, and stuff like that. But as far as the screen is concerned, you got 4 or 5 people you can play with. And I believe you're going to see them all. But that's just me. I think you're going to see a version or a rendition of all of them.
Yeah, I think we're going to see. I definitely think we're going to see Rhino. I know we're going to see Lizard.
Yeah.
And we may, because of the end credit scene on Venom, we just may see Venom.
Yeah.
And
Michael Keaton has come out publicly and said that he is in Spider-Man No Way Home. He's already said he's in it. So Michael Keaton is Vulture. So if it's 15 seconds, the man that publicly said he's going to be in the movie. So, listen, you've got Spider-Man's enemies. You got them all there. It just makes sense that you can't. Because one Spider-Man can't fight all of them. It's just you couldn't beat them. There's no way you could beat them, right? Yeah.
So you have that, and like I said, in the actual poster, you have hints. So we're not just guessing at this stuff. In the poster, they gave us this. Now, if you're wondering why is such a juggling act like this, Sony wants to give away the form, right?
Yeah.
And that's not the Marvel way.
Right.
Sony wants to tell you everything about the movie right now so you can go see it. But Marvel is like, no, let's let them catch it when they see it. Let's leave them surprised.
That's why Kevin Feige had the meeting, and he basically threatened all of them and said, look, now I'm telling you right now, if you give away the farm before it go, I'm going to own Sony. Like not Marvel owning Sony. Kevin Feige is going to own Sony. So he said, I'm telling you right now, if you do this stuff, I'm telling you, I'm going to own you. I'm going to own, like they're going to change Sony's name to Feige. So that's what's going to happen because he's going to sue the brake shoes off of him.
Feige movies.
Yeah.
Listen. So, at that being said, man, you have this whole appetite for this film. And me and Big G were talking about this earlier. If what we hear about this film is correct, with all the plot leaks and all of the things that we've gotten, man, this would probably be the best Marvel movie ever.
Yeah, it has. I was skeptical. I was probably like about a month ago. I was about 20 to 25% in when I first started reading stuff and hearing stuff. Then I did a rabbit hole thing, and I was like, man, maybe it's just the oxygen that was down in the hole. It was getting me because I had moved up to around 35, 45%. But with this recent stuff that's coming out, and it's like public stuff, man, I'm about 75% on this, man, if this stuff is real. And if it's the case, it will be the standard for all Marvel movies moving forward. This movie is blockbuster. Like, we're talking about Star Wars Empire Strikes Back, Star Wars Return of the Jedi, and Avengers Endgame, Avengers Infinity. This is blockbuster. Like this will be probably the all-time greatest revenue for Marvel ever. They got to split the pie with Sony. It's going to be the greatest revenue ever.
I definitely think so, man. But and like I said, this is the reason why you have the tug of war going on. Because like I said, Sony is trying. their best to just give it up. They're not trying to hold nothing back. They just want to give it up, right?
Yeah.
And Marvel does not operate that way. They hold everything close to the vest. So December the 17th, we will see. And I really believe, honestly, now, because at first I was saying, I hope they don't blow it. 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 But I honestly believe that they have the best Marvel movie that we will see, or that we have seen to this point.
Yeah.
In Spider-Man No Way Home.
Right. And you know what's critical? You know what's critical, Mod? Is that if that's the case, how much better is Thor Love and Thunder? How much better is Ant-Man Quantumania? How much better is Guardians of the Galaxy 3? How much better is Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness? This is stuff we know is coming. So
wow.
How much better does the Fantastic Four, how much better does these movies have, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, do they have to be if this is going to be like the pinnacle? You know, because this thing right here, I'm telling y'all, this thing, and this the killer part. If you follow the Marvel way, what haven't they told us? Because they done dropped like we know we're going to see 6, 7, 8 members of the Sinister Six. We know we're going to see 3 Spider-Mans. We know we're going to see Matt Murdock. You know, we know Doctor Strange is in it. We know Wong is in it. What haven't they told us? Because they got to have stuff that they're saving.
That they're holding back. Or that they've been able, things that they've been able to kind of keep quiet.
Yeah.
You know, and even so, like I said, you may get a plot leak and you may read it and you may listen to it or whatever, and it may, speak to you, but seeing it's a whole other thing. Seeing it visually be put together is a whole other thing. We still don't know who's going to die in this movie.
Yeah.
There will be some deaths in this movie.
Yeah, that's rumors.
Get prepared.
Yeah.
You may lose Happy. You may lose Aunt May.
Yeah.
You may lose Mary Jane.
Yeah, yeah. You could. How about you could lose SpiderMan, or the MCU Spider-Man?
You could lose.
How about you could lose him?
Yeah, you could lose. You could easily lose 2 of them. And get this. If I had my guess right now, I'm gonna go on record. I think Toby dies. I think Tobey Maguire dies. I think his Spider-Man is going to be put to rest.
Yeah.
I honestly do. He's the more experienced. He's the elder statesman of them all. And I think, that wisdom is going to be seen. But he's the one. His character, his Spider-Man was more willing to lay it on the line for everybody anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I could see that happening, right?
Yeah.
I could see his Spider-Man laying it down for everybody else, right?
Yeah.
Now the Green Goblin, if it starts, oh my gosh, like I'm excited to see the Green Goblin in this movie, right?
Yeah.
I've never been a Green Goblin fan. Like I really didn't like it. He laughed just to laugh. It was just too sinister for me. I was like, but I'm excited to see what they do with Green Goblin, especially that he's the lead. Norman is the leader of all of these folks.
Right, but see, that's the thing. That's the whole thing. Sony did a horrible job with the presentation of Norman Osborn as a character, right? You can't have comic books, Marvel, period, without certain people. And Norman Osborn is like Victor Von Doom. You got to have the guy somewhere creeping around in a back alley or not dying or concocting some type of thing, mutating something or manipulating, because he's so tied in to titles that we know have coming, like the Dark Avengers, and the Thunderbolts, and he's tied into this stuff. So I think this is a quick, not going to be a quick, but a hard reboot to bring that guy in. You got to have him, because without him, it doesn't move.
Oscorp is huge in Marvel.
Oh yeah,
right. Oscorp is huge, and you got to set it up some type of way. I don't know that we're going to be rid of him in this movie just yet. I don't know that we're going to be rid of him. And also we got coming Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Hawkeye's coming. So, get ready for that. But I'm going to tell you, if I was you, Marvel fan, Marvelous Talk fan, if I was you, I would go back to what I've seen thus far. On the Disney app, they already got it lined up for you. They got it lined up. I would start at Endgame and just move on through. They got everything put there. Black Widow, you don't need for this. Black Widow is over there. You don't need it for that. It's you kind of, it's separate, right? You only need the last piece. But you start from Endgame and then you move, right? You move. You got Spider-Man Far From Home. You have WandaVision. You have Loki. You have Captain Falcon and the Winter Soldier, or Captain America and the Winter Soldier. And then you definitely have What If. And am I leaving one out?
Well, Shang-Chi will drop on the 12th. So
you got Shang-Chi.
As of a 25 hours, you're going to be able to watch Shang-Chi.
Yeah, so you got Shang-Chi.
And Black Widow. And Black Widow.
Well, like I said, Black Widow,
but I say no. The reason why is there's some critical parts in there. But we don't have time to cover it. But there's some critical parts that you might want to check it out. You might want to, if you get through all the rest of them, you like, man, something's still missing. Watch the Black Widow, because there's some parts that's going to fill in gaps.
Yeah, and I believe it with all of my heart, man. That when we get to SpiderMan, man, oh man, I'm excited. I don't know how other to say I'm excited, man. I'm excited.
I'm gonna say this too about people are starting to discredit Hawkeye. And I'm telling y'all, don't slip on this one. Don't slip, because first of all, there's only 6 episodes, right? Second of all, I'm telling y'all, this is going to set up a whole bunch of Earth-based stuff. So like if you're a Marvel fan and that's your thing as far as the comic books, and you like Heroes for Hire, you like Iron Fist, Power Man, Jessica Drew, who, for y'all that don't know, that's Spider-Woman. If you like those type characters, Hawkeye is going to do a whole lot of setting up for that, man. A whole lot. And I think you're going to see a lot of maybe A-, B+ characters that are pivotal to move the story forward.
And you got to think about it. Marvel is bringing in actors to play some of these B-, C- characters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we may think that they're of no consequence, but Marvel is taking the time to bring in a A1 actor for this part, like MODOK.
Yeah,
they're bringing in Jim Carrey to play that. I mean, so there's some things that are coming to fruition, and you got to check it out. I promise you, guys.
We don't even know who in the heck Bill Murray's playing. We
Reeves.
don't know who Keanu Reeves is playing, and we know that they're signed on contract with Marvel. So come on, man. There's something big brewing.
That's brewing. Make sure Disney Plus Day is tomorrow, right?
The 12th. So this is the big thing about Disney Plus. So it's 11:27 Eastern Standard Time. So we got 25 hours, 24 hours and a half hour, right? But the big thing about the Disney Plus Day, you're not going to have to wait till 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning for them to start showing you stuff. They have literally said that when the clock strikes midnight at 12 o'clock, they're going to start having stuff everywhere. And that includes, I believe they're going to show you trailer stuff or shots from the Miss Marvel. Maybe you'll get a first picture or shot of She-Hulk. You're going to see stuff. They might even do something like the investors meeting and show you some stuff that they've been holding on to for a minute to amp it up. And I really do believe that on the 12th, we're going to get the second trailer for Spider-Man No Way Home. It's Disney Plus Day. They got to drop it. It's like one of those things, like when you get off of work or if you're off that day, you need to turn it on Disney Plus and maybe not turn it off for about 24 hours. If you're a Marvel fan or a Star Wars fan, you just need to let it run. And then what you missed, start YouTubing and be like, oh my God, I missed that or I missed that. Because I'm telling you, it's going to be one heck of a day starting on the 12th.
I believe it. I believe it. Well, man, listen, we thank you guys for rocking out with us and coming and showing up. If you like the content that you saw, make sure you like and subscribe. Check us out on our YouTube channel. Check us out on Facebook. We're definitely here for you and yours. Hey, what's up, G-Man? You got any parting shots?
Man, just a shout out to my dude, Dane, man. We missed you tonight, Dane. We missed you. Get well, take care of the fam, and we definitely going to see you next week, man.
Yeah, man. Love you, Dame. We appreciate you, man. And it's always good when we have him here because, that threefold cord, man, we get it in. We gets it in. But definitely get excited. This week, you got some great things that's happening. We're only just, a month away, literally, from SpiderMan. We're only a couple
2 weeks away from Hawkeye. Yeah, it's
we're
about
only
to
a
go
couple
down.
weeks away from Hawkeye. You like I said, when Disney Plus Day hits, go back, refresh, get yourself together. And if you have not seen the Eternals, make sure you go. Don't listen to the critics. Go see it yourself. Go see it yourself. Definitely. If I went to go see it in a fumigation suit and with a whole box of Lysol and wipes, you could go see it. You could definitely go see it.
Joel Embiid in the hazmat, y'all. Joel Embiid.
Hey, look, man, we out of here. To the next Marvelous. We gone.